we introduced, what I just touched upon was the fabric of CG across the organization. And one thing which I mentioned was our values, which are intricate to us. It was about that, it was about you, it was about I. One of the first things which he made you do was I. No we, no they. We, they is an umbrella in which one can hide. I is where I take accountability, success or failure. And then how it overlaps with the organization's values. This is what the exercise of 2 days was. How I judge, I have seen a lot of training programs. 12 years of career in the industry and number of training programs, because I personally also like to take an interest in seeing these things. I measure the success of a behavioral program. This is a behavioral program. This is not a skill of SAP which you can take back and start entering. This is not a skill of learning something about a new luminaire which are going to your customer. This is a behavioral program. Usually the success of a behavioral program is when at the end of 2 days you feel that you already knew it. Whatever was discussed in these 2 days, you already knew it. Radha, I think, was mentioning. He said, I already knew it. But then someone has facilitated the articulation of that, wherein it is more crystallized. So what you always knew is now clearer to you. Being clearer helps it to make it more actionable. That's how I look at it. Now, his job as a facilitator, I am not going to thank him. He's done a wonderful job. You have all thanked him enough. His job as a facilitator was not to catch fish, but to teach fishing. Now it is each one of our job to see whether we take the fishing rod out tomorrow or go back home and hang the fishing rod behind the boat. Simple as that. There is no rocket science to it. I do not want to dampen the spirit, the feel-good factor which is coming here. A very strong feel-good factor. But usually, that two things. Before, usually I would say, I also saw a lot of cynicism. A lot of cynicism in your feedback. Cynicism about previous training programs, cynicism about this, cynicism about that. You were mentioning that in a small group we learned so many things from others that you are not doing. Why can't we do it in daily life? Why do you need such a forum to understand what your colleague is doing? Can you speak to him in the office? No, I am not pointing. I'm just putting out a thought up there for us to ponder on. Because we have become so cynical in our life. Keep articulating it. Right? Nothing, it's all a waste. We have written it off before we come here. We mentioned about training programs where there was a 4. Why are we seeing what the facilitator can give us? Why are we not seeing what we can take from that? Probably all facilitators do not have the kind of articulation strength which Azad has beautifully expressed here. But then, I think you mentioned, I have mentioned that if you had not come, it would have been a lost opportunity. Each of the training programs is like that. And ultimately it's a fishing rod. What you take away. He has not given you anything. He has beautifully taken you to a position where you have understood what your values are, by which you have articulated your own values, by which you have seen that piece of paper, whether that boy, you, which you kept in your drawer, suddenly it started making sense to you, right? And it has now overlapped. Azad is not from CG. He is not from CG. He is from School of Training, who specializes for the last 17 years, almost 2 decades in training programs. But through the 2 days, Azad has explicitly expressed the 5 CG values. He has shown by your own feedback, admission of your own feedback, that he has excelled in performing the job of a trainer. He has shown his knowledge by which he has tried to impart to you, and is also his ability to learn by taking feedback from you. Despite his wife being just delivered a baby, he is still showing intense customer orientation by sitting here with us. He has shown the ability to nurture each one of you, banging you when you are wrong, acknowledging you and giving you chocolate when you are right. And he has had the courage of and intellectual honesty to admit that some part of his mind was there in Bombay when he was in his training program. He is not from CG. But he has exhibited these values. Ponder on that. Most of our time, energy is lost on cynicism. All of us, I see a lot of batches saying joyfulness, openness. If you kill that cynicism, now half the battles are won. Most of the times, preset, preconceived, useless, time waste, or you said, nut. I'm not that experienced, probably I would have also thought the same way. Nevertheless, nut. He says, 4 दिन का छुट्टी. That's what you said, right? 4 दिन का छुट्टी. Most of us come with that. Then our ability to take it back itself is not there. Now, having done that, since I see that there's a lot of feel good here, a lot of people have said, I have done this, I have learned this, I have helped my mother, I have helped my father. Tomorrow will you do it? 1 week from now will you do it? A month from now will you do it? A year from now will you do it? Organization, trainer, facilitator can provide opportunity, give you that fishing rod. Up to you. Up to you. The organization believes. I am all of you that I am a newcomer to the organization. Collectively here I think around 250, 300 years of CG experience in sitting. I just put in 1 year, about 1 year in CG. But the amount of importance which is given to training and the amount of resources which are spent in training, by resources I don't just mean money, 24 into 2, 48 man days lost if you look at it from purely financial point of view, or 48 man days invested is how you look at it. Organization looking at it from investment. This program, any other program, fishing rod, you are taking it back. You can throw it on the way from Jigni to this, or you can, usually it happens. Nothing, no blaming anyone. This is, one second, as you articulated your values, you came to know your values. I'm just putting one more thought, that just don't drop that fishing rod, or don't keep it behind the door and forget about it. As for Azad, Jackie Chan, I think, personified you perfectly. Who was that, Jackie Chan?
I got it.
You told, ghost told, okay. I'm not talking about the physical point of view, from the energy, the phenomenal energy point of view. And you also said that when making a presentation, look at a person who gives energy. I think vice versa. The audience also draws energy from the facilitator. So the amount of energy you showed here probably has been one of the root causes of relating energy. Thank you very much, and thank you despite your domestic commitments. You have stayed here. As are some people, others, some have their birthdays, some have their children's birthday, but you have a newborn baby lying there. Wish you, your family, all the best, and I hope you're taking back 24 friends along with you.
Yes,
back
yes.
in Bombay. So on behalf of all of